We told you Nikola signed an agreement with GM. We're learning more now. GM will no longer take that $2 billion equity stake in Nikola. This deal no longer includes the Badger pickup truck. Phil LeBeau joins us on the Squawk Newsline. So what does it include, Phil?
Well, it calls for a memorandum of understanding, which means they're going to work together with General Motors providing the Hydrotech technology for hydrogen fuel cell semi-trucks that Nikola is developing and hopes to have testing by the end of next year, and then in a beta form a little bit after that, and then potentially also some of the Ultium battery technology could be used for battery electric semi-trucks Nikola is designing for the future as well. You notice the shares of Nikola, they're down more than 6%. This deal was always far more important to Nikola than it was to General Motors. And you can tell by this agreement being reached with GM, while it doesn't take an equity stake in Nikola, it basically gets out of this agreement that really was not going to work out very well for them by basically saying, look, we'll provide the technology for you. Here's a customer who can help us get scale for our Hydrotech technology. But beyond that, Nikola is going back to the drawing board in terms of what it's planning to do. It's going to be focusing now on the hydrogen fuel cell semis and the battery electric semis. And those were always the most important vehicles. The electric pickup truck, the Badger, that was the vision of Trevor Milton. And that was something that was never high on the priority list with General Motors. I think they looked at it and they said, sure, we'll get some scale here for building this potentially. The fact that that's going away, not a huge surprise here. But you look at shares of Nikola down more than 6% now that they have essentially come up with a new agreement with General Motors.
So, Phil, just to underscore this, the Badger is dead?
The Badger is dead, and it's not a surprise, Melissa.
Yeah.
They have not talked about the Badger here for several weeks. Once Trevor Milton was out, you knew that the Badger Electric was not going to be around much longer.
Right, and you mentioned GM and what it meant for Nikola versus GM. It could have been, though, it could have been sort of a black eye for Mary Barra, though, correct? I mean, if they had gone through
Absolutely.
Right? Them coming
Absolutely.
out of this is maybe not a surprise. I'm surprised that they even have some sort of agreement still.
Well, I think they look at this and say, hey, here's a customer for our hydrogen fuel cell technology. We're happy to work with them. And who knows, maybe Nikola's hydrogen fuel cell semis take off. I mean, we're a ways from finding out if that's the case. They're just going into testing. They'll be testing them by the end of next year. That market is still developing. Someday you could look back on this and you could say, hey, this hydrogen fuel cell semi from Nikola is a big hit. Or you could look back on it and say, well, that was an interesting idea and it never really panned out.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.